If you want to run further or faster, this one's for you. I've been running for 4 years. I went from a 13-minute mile to a 5:45-minute mile as a hobbyist runner. I've also lost 60 pounds in the process, run 5,000 miles, and done a lot of research, listened to a lot of books and a lot of coaches. This is not everything you need to know, but hopefully some of the big picture pieces in this puzzle. How to actually improve, not just follow a plan. So buckle up, let's go. 5 things starting now. Number 1, avoid injury. For me, most of the time, I've had to train below my level of motivation because I learned if I go all out, I would start to develop common running injuries. And if you're interested in long distance running, you might be similar. Meb Keflezighi wrote this book. It's pretty awesome. Listen to this.
Your body can gradually get stronger and you can progress your fitness. That's true for runners of all levels. You'll accomplish a lot more by regularly doing 95% of your capabilities than by trying to do too much and then losing time to injury, illness, or fatigue.
Some wise words from someone who's been there and done that. The reason avoiding injuries is so important is it's actually the number one reason that throws off people from hitting their distance goals. Being a little too zealous and pushing for 30 minutes longer than you should could end up causing you a 1, 2, 3 month recovery period. Sometimes getting injured seems out of our hands, but I believe it's in more of our control than we realize. It's actually really uncommon to get a major injury from running. Most of the injuries are 6 weeks or less, like shin splints, runner's knee, twisted ankle. Normally all of these come from overtraining or just an odd step. And if cautious, these can be caught before they become a big problem. So by staying at that 95%, you can stop in time to recover. And instead of extending that injury to 6 weeks, it ends up becoming 3 or 4 days of taking it easy, and then you're good to go. Getting you to be able to run further or faster in a shorter period of total aggregate time. So it's critical to understand your body. More on that in a minute. Number 2, expand your time horizon when it comes to consistency. Don't necessarily look at days or weeks, but rather look at months and years when it comes to consistency. If I were to tell you that I've been running twice a week, you might think, that's not very consistent. But if I run twice a week, every week for a year, that's 104 days this year, probably around 500 miles if I run 5 miles on average per run. Now, if I do that over 10 years, look at it. I'm running over 5,000 miles. I've run over 1,000 days in the last 10 years. If someone says they've run 1,000 days in the last 10 years, you're like, wow, you're a runner. We generally super intense, maybe get injured, then drop off completely and don't do anything. But consistency over a long period of time will always be short-term intensity. 3, as humans, our default seems to be way too all or nothing. You see, building is much harder than maintaining. It takes roughly 4 times the volume to improve than it does to maintain. So 40 miles a week could be building for you, where 10 miles a week is maintaining, or 80s building, 20s maintaining. This was one of the biggest unlocks for me. Instead of taking 2 months off after a big race, I would try to just do low intensity maintaining work. If I felt good one day, I'd just take off and go fast, just however I kind of felt, but I'd force myself to do about those 10 miles a week. Over those 2 months, I ended up with over 100 miles, and my next starting point for my next running block was way, way better, especially like this time of year. Some people will take December, January, February, like 3 months off and gain 7 to 15 pounds. You're dropping so much in your fitness, and you've got to diet back down. Like, it's so much harder to come back than if you just do just a little bit of work to maintain. You're at such a better starting point. P.S. This is crucial for fat loss as well. Let Whiteboard Kramer give you the visual. I got my tools. Let's break it down. This might change your life. We have 2 people for this example. Person 1 and Bob. Person 1 is normal and Bob looks normal but is extraordinary. Here's why. I'm literally measuring everything so you get the perfect visual representation. First, we got the person 1. Now they improve and then they regress a little bit, improve, regress a little bit. Now, I'm only regressing a quarter of what the improvement was. A lot of people regress even half or full what the improvement was. Some people with dieting even come all the way below where they started. But let's say this person's really disciplined, and so whenever they take a break, they only regress slightly. After 5 improvement cycles, they're up 7.5 inches. Bob, on the other hand, knows how to maintain. 2 inches up maintenance. Boom, he's up to 10 inches because he never regressed slightly for 1 week or 3 weeks or a month. Instead, he decided to maintain. This is just a representation of whatever you're working on in life. Therefore, Bob is 25% further than person number 1, even though they improved the exact same amount. Bob just maintained where this person went out and had a little bit too much to drink. And this graph could represent a year, let alone look over 10 years. And the difference between these people in real life look magnificently different. This might be the difference between a 4-hour and a 2:40 marathoner. What was the difference? Maintenance. Disclaimer, all the numbers I gave are all made up numbers, but to prove a point, and I think you get the point. Here's a hot take on how you can hack motivation for an area of life you want to grow. First step, master maintaining. Maintain every single day you don't have motivation. And then on the days you have motivation, grow, push it, go with it. It's easy because you have the motivation. With this formula, you always grow and never go backwards as long as you can maintain on the days you don't want to do it. I like to do this in many areas of life because then I feel like I'm working with myself instead of always forcing willpower. Just force the willpower to maintain and then let the motivation grow you. And if you never have motivation, something else is probably off in life. Number 4, let your past inform what you do in the future. To be a better runner, you must improve on your weaknesses, but how? Reflection is key. First, it starts with a hard run, a long run, speed run, maybe a race, pushing close to your limits. The day after, assess what is tired. What could you have improved on during the run and in preparation? What held you back on the run? Was it your legs? Was it your lungs? Was it your nutrition? Was it your heart rate? Was it your feet? The question to these answers will help you what you need to focus on in your training. Your body will let you know what you need to work on. You just have to listen. So yesterday I completed a 40-mile training run and I was doing the reflection today, and that's what inspired this video. Is I'm like, let's break this down. You see, I have a document with over 80,000 words that I've typed of reflections of my races and runs over the past 4 years. So what I did is put the big questions on this piece of paper. It's a little PDF, 55miles.com in the description. Download it for free. Let's break it down. Big picture, what went well? First thing that comes to mind, just write it down. Yesterday, I completed my goal distance. I enjoyed most of the run, despite not feeling 100% when I started, and I kept a good pace. Question 2, what went bad? I didn't prepare enough real food for the run, and my energy got super low twice. That's the big picture category. First thing that comes to mind there. Now a little more detail. Let's go into the body. What felt good while running as far as the body goes? My heart rate stayed really low, 135 beats per minute. Great for me for that run. What was difficult while running? Overall fatigue was high for me. I had been doing a lot of speed work. I'd run a half marathon that week. I had also run a PR mile and 3 speed miles in that same day. And so my legs were still tired. My hamstrings were still tired at the beginning of the day. Tight hamstrings. And then my left shin was kind of hurting and my left Achilles was hurting. My left leg was acting up a bit. Now to the mindset. Did I adhere to my pre-decided time, pace, and distance goals? Super important to review this section after a race. On this run, I perfectly did, which was one of my big goals of this run yesterday. How was my general mindset and thinking while running? I said positive, but I noticed negative thoughts come more frequently and much stronger when I am physically tired. So whenever I got low on my nutrition, hadn't eaten in a while, my negativity got worse. How can I prepare better for next time? I just need to plan out my route better so I can plan out aid stations or stops, bathroom breaks. I just didn't take the time to plan out my route well. And so I was lacking in the food category on this run, as well as I had to make a lot of decisions of where I was trying to go during the day. And those decisions I should have made before running instead of during the run. Mid-run decisions to improve. I wrote nothing because I did pretty good over there. And then the last thing is one big takeaway, one thing to remember. For me, it would be more food on the super long runs, as well as the second thing that I want to remember is hamstrings tight. Improve hamstring strength. Here, I'll put this close so you can screenshot it if you just want to get those questions so you can just journal it. You can do it digitally, you can however you want to do it. If you want to print out 50 of these and write them after each run, after each hard run, after each speed workout, after each race, do it however you want, but this reflection is key. Now that you have this information, I know I need to improve my hamstrings. What do I do next? Number 5, super practical training ideas for the endurance athlete. Doing the thing is the best way to improve. You want to improve your jumping? Jump. You want to improve your bench press? Bench press. You want to improve your running? Run. You want to improve your hills? Hills. Like, do the thing. That's a given though. So what supplementary things can you or should you do? Should is an individualistic discovery, so we'll focus on can. Lifting weights. Yes. I used to lift to get big. You'd look at me now and be like, no, you didn't. Out of the 60 pounds I lost, about 15 to 20 was muscle. And I want to feel good and run far. That's why I lift now, is to improve my weaknesses for endurance. So my goals have changed around lifting weights. So now I always do higher reps. I do a lot of reps. I never go to failure. For me, too much risk for the reward. Now, this is kind of contrary to typical hypertrophy training advice, but for me, it fits my goals perfectly. Lifting weights is idea one. Number 2 way to train, now we're getting to the fun stuff, hybrid training. This is one of my favorite ways to train muscle groups, is with some sort of intervals. I'll take a treadmill and a workout and combine them. So this was a recent workout I like to do. Hamstrings, trying to improve those. So 1 10-minute mile on the treadmill, go over, do a set of hamstring curls. Go back, another 10-minute mile, over hamstring curls. I just do that simple workout, but 6 sessions. So once I'm going not all the way to failure, but close, somewhere around 25 to 40 reps on the hamstring curl machine, I'll go back over to the treadmill, run immediately. It's like running on tired legs. I feel like I'm on mile 40 already, and doing that back and forth is a great way to strengthen the muscle combined with the typical running activity that we're doing. 3, a post-run workout. Go out for your normal run. Once it's done, do your strength immediately after. What are you trying to improve on? Maybe you go do 100 body weight squats after. That's actually quite a bit after a run. You do that in sessions of 20 squats. I don't know how strong your legs are, but I would be sore. Calf raises, step up on a chair, lunges, all these sort of moving, dynamic body weight exercises. The impact's magnified when you do it after a run or workout because you're already partially fatigued. That's a fun way to do it, and you can just do a 5-minute leg workout after your run, and it will make a big difference in the long run. No pun intended. Next, weighted activity. Wear a weighted vest to go on a hike, go up a mountain. What I do, I don't have like a weight vest per se, but I do have a hiking backpack, and so I'll put a big rock in there and go on a hike. I've also put in like a 45-pound plate and just go on a hike. Also, additionally, with my running vest, I have an Osprey vest that has like a zipper in the back. I've thrown in 15 pounds and just run with those 15 pounds. This is increasing the intensity, and every time I put weight on, I just think to myself, if I put a 45-pound plate on, I'm like, I used to weigh this much. This is how difficult it used to be to run. And I quickly realized why I could only do a 13-minute mile when I re-put on those 60 pounds. I should do that. 60 pounds on, see how fast I can go now. I'm sure I could beat a 13-minute mile now because I'm in such better shape, but I wonder how fast I could go. That'd be fun. Ankle weights. This can be a great one for the IT band. I picked up some on Amazon that goes up to like 10 or 15 pounds, but it has slots. So you can break it down into like 3-pound increments and go anywhere between 3 pounds and 15 pounds. Super cool ones. But I'll use these on a treadmill, walking incline, or on a stair stepper, or going hiking outside. And it really gets the IT band, which is something I needed to work on a lot. That got super sore on my original beginning ultras. Again, a great way to increase the intensity in the short term, but still do the motion of the activity you're going to be doing on ultra running or trail running. And then you can also hold weights. So like a farmer's carry, grab a dumbbell, a kettlebell, go walk. One of my favorite workouts recently is to grab a kettlebell, go over to the stair stepper, and start climbing on the stair stepper with that kettlebell. 1 minute in each hand, and I switch back and forth. So I'm getting stronger legs going uphill with weight, but I'm also only one of them. So now you have to really work on your core stability. That's like my new favorite stability core strengthening workout. Super cool. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I work more than full time. And then I'm trying to add on top of it all of this running and ultra running training. But I fully believe that you can have this as a lifestyle. Good example, I take the boys to the park. The park's a trigger for me to get a core workout in. I'll do some hanging leg raises on the monkey bars, and then I'll lay down in the grass or on the turf and do leg raises. I just get a nice little strong core workout. I normally get a little bit sore from it even every single time we go to the park. How often do we go to a park? Well, I don't know, 2-3 times a week. I might take them 1 to 2 times a week. So I don't even have to like plan core workouts except kettlebell occasionally on the stair stepper, and then I'm just doing leg raise. Like, it's a lifestyle that you've got to fit in when you can do it. If you're single without kids, I mean, you got no excuses. That's kind of a joke, but kind of not. If you have kids, you get it. And I now know it doesn't have to be like it was in high school, where I'd go to the gym for 2.5 hours, do 4 exercises. Life's not the same, and somehow I'm a lot more fit now. So take the meat and throw out the bones from this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. We're super close to 500 subscribers, so if you could subscribe today, that would help us get there. I'll see you on the next video.
55 Miles provides you with the best blister prevention, anti-chafe, and recovery for your running needs. Check out the Marathon Bundle to get all 3 in 1 at 55miles.com.